What's up, friends? It's another episode of The Mindful CEO. I'm your co-host, Chris Angel, joined by our other bodacious co-host, Aaron Hendon.
Bodacious.
Yeah,
I
man.
did not see that coming. I must admit, I
I
did
didn't
not.
either. It just
I
came
did
up. It welled up
very.
within me.
I did not get that. All right, good. All right, well, it's good to be here. It's good to be bodacious because the only thing I associate with bodacious is tatas.
Well, yeah.
I
Your
just,
personality is bodacious
I,
too, Aaron.
I think that gets you canceled these days. But there you go. That's the
It's our
only
show. We can do whatever
association.
we want.
I know we can. Fuck it. Anyway, so our guest today is definitely Mr. Bodacious Tatas. Um, Russell Nohelty, I'll let you introduce yourself how you'd like to, because otherwise I really am going to get canceled. So,
Sure. So I'm a US City, I'm Russell. I'm a US City best-selling author. If you're watching this on video, I wrote or edited all of the books behind me. I painted all the paintings there. I'm basically a creative human. I run a brand called Hapitalist, which is about optimizing for joy and making money doing it, and kind of making sense of the nonsense that our universe has descended into.
Mm,
excellent.
dang, I love that. That's
Yeah,
right up our alley, Aaron.
it's very much so. That's why when I
Joy
found this
and making
podcast, I
money
was like,
doing it. Yes, please.
right. I mean, we say slaying the dragon of hustle culture, one mindful moment at a time, but for sure, the descent into the madness has that we find ourselves in with the Lamborghini leaning and the posing and the hustle, the burnout badge, and I'm so fucking tired. Look at me, and no, just
Yeah.
fucking no, just no. Anyway, so we're really excited to have you here, Russell. It's really a perfect match, if not exactly the same as us, certainly frequency wise, it jibes.
What so I'm curious, just out of pure curiosity before I get into super deep stuff. Like I went to your author page on Amazon. Like you've written a ton of books. I can see behind you now. And I'm like, how are you so prolific in generating all these books?
I mean, it's okay. So I've written about 80 books over the course of 43 years. And so it's focus, really. I mean, I didn't do very much more besides write books for like a decade, like write books, do a podcast. And if you find a way to do stuff efficiently, it turns out you can write like 5,000 words in 4 or 5 hours a day, and then you can go and do all the others. Like there's just not that much stuff that is valuable to do. I mean, I don't do social media really. Like I do, my whole thing is about being where humans who actually want to hear me are, like really then. And you can only do that so many hours in a day. And even if it's 8 hours, that's 8,000 words. There's so much you can do in a day. And especially when you take out all the, I assume we can curse here, right? Since he said fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
all the bullshit. Like everything is
Yeah.
bullshit. Like there's only like two or three things that actually matter in a day. If you just do those, you can be very productive.
It's so good. I mean, Aaron, I think our audience, like, we came out of the real estate industry and there's so much distraction, so much like FOMO and all the things we think we're supposed to be doing. And
The
I think
shiny
that,
objects, baby.
yeah, man, that
The
focus
new,
and
oh, this is the real lead. This is how you do this new script. I got this new script for Fizbos and change your
yeah,
life.
oh God. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
great.
every
I
other
love that.
day there's like some new tool or some new thing or there's some new
Hmm.
internet that I have to go down. And it turns out, so people are really in business, people are really good at pitching you first order problems, but the real like challenge is figuring out what third order problems you don't even need. You will fix all of your other problems. So this is
Yes. Yes.
I probably have to go into like what a third order problem is,
Yeah,
but
give us an example of that.
okay. So imagine your house is on fire, or maybe sprung a gas leak, and that gas leak has caused a fire, and someone keeps comes to put it out. That's a first. We're really good in business of talking about first order problems, and we have no reason to go beyond that because we want that fire to keep going on. Like every time that the fire
Mm.
engine comes over, I get paid. A second order problem is like, well, okay, maybe we should fix the gas main because like there's clearly a hole in the gas main, and if I fix that, you won't have any fires anymore. A third order problem is like, why do we even need gas in the first place? Like,
Mm,
why is this even, why are we paying for gas to come into our house? We could get solar and literally never have this problem again. And I'm really good at helping people solve third order problems, which is why, like, I probably don't make like $10 million a year because, like, I could make a lot more money solving bullshit
mm,
first order problems. And that's what we're all
yeah,
doing. But like
yeah,
most of us in our business are solving first order problems. And
yeah.
those are the ones that are making people filthy rich. Third order problems are like, why aren't you happy? I'll give you a great example. So I was at
Mm,
a conference the other week and someone was on stage saying they had a problem going live on going viral on YouTube. And so they created an AI like clone that like made the perfect viral pitch to go viral on YouTube. And the tagline of his company is never make another YouTube video again. And I was like, actually, that tagline is right. You never have to make another YouTube video again, but you could just, instead of doing all that first, second order bullshit, you could just not make any YouTube videos again because you're a multimillionaire. There's no reason why you should have to make a YouTube video. Don't we have money to not dance for people on platforms? Like, isn't that the point of money?
Yeah,
That's great.
it's
I
excellent.
love that, man. That reminds me of just going upstream. I think that whole story about somebody is walking next to a stream and there's a bunch of bodies piling up in the stream and they're like, "Oh my God, there's bodies here! I'm pulling bodies out." And somebody comes by and they're like, "Hey, don't like help me pull these bodies out." And then the third person goes by and they're like, "Help us pull these bodies." I'm going to go upstream and figure out where these bodies are coming from. And I think you start in my experience getting into mindfulness and sort of exploring beyond the first the what is it first order problems
Hmm.
started to expand my awareness, and so it affected the solutions that I was wanting to help people with. But most people don't have the awareness of the things that I have solutions for. I have to
Right.
expand the awareness, just like you're saying, to think differently. We have to, like, we're such lazy thinkers.
Well, that's the change cycle, right? Like, I have you ever, did you guys read the book AQ? It's a great
No.
book that, like,
Yeah.
so the idea is people start not knowing the problem. And then they know the problem and avoid it. And then they know the problem and fight it. And they know the problem is and accept it. So, like, your goal is really to get someone from not knowing what the problem is all the way through to acceptance of that problem and a solution. And, like, that is a business. Like, that is like how you solve most problems is like, you're like, hey, you don't know that you have a problem. And then, like, a fire is an immediate solution. But happiness is not an immediate solution, but it's a forever solution.
Yeah.
Good. So time. So okay, good. So they're just in there. What's the acceptance of? So, I'm clear from a mindfulness perspective. My framework has acceptance as a critical step before happiness. That there is no happiness when you're
Right.
resisting the way things are. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I think
Okay.
that so we work at Hapitalist at a thing called the Easeful Joy Loop, and the first step is attunement, and that is there are opportunities happening. Luck is falling everywhere like manna from heaven, constantly, 100% of the time, an unlimited amount of it, but like you can't see it. So like you, so like we have to attune you to what all the what just that there are opportunities, and that like you can have them and then you should be able to find and like how to actually know what opportunity is right for you. So, but like that starts with radical acceptance. And I love radical acceptance, but I hate however what everyone thinks radical acceptance is, which is like I have to accept that these problems are happening. And that's not what it's about.
Right.
Radical acceptance is about pointing and saying, this is happening. And if you can't look and say this is the thing that's happening without any like bias, then you can't attune, you can't do anything. And so you have to have there's three kinds of radical acceptance: life acceptance, radical life acceptance. These are the problems I am actually facing. Radical self-acceptance. These are the things that I am doing, and radical other acceptance. And the minute that you can say, oh, that person is like running a race that like I don't understand and I don't want to run. So like I'm not gonna run that race. And like, oh, I really am hungry. Wow, I'm really anxious about this thing. I wonder why that is. And like, oh, I have a job I hate. Maybe I don't have to hate that job. If you cannot look at your body and say, because like our body is always fighting us, right? Our body wants us to stay safe, and safe means doing the same thing. It does not actually mean you are safe. In fact, often you are in danger. Some like you might be in an abusive relationship or a terrible job or about to get fired. And but our body is like, no, no, don't change though. Don't change though, because like we know what this is. We don't know what better is. And so we have to be able to say, body, like we're safe. Also, there's unlimited money out there that we can make. And if you can't make these like very rational things, then you can't change them. So radical acceptance is about accepting a thing so that you can change it.
It's great
Yeah.
without resisting it. So I love it, Chris. This is my favorite thing, right? When someone else gives me back, you know,
Yeah.
their take on something that's like, oh yeah, that's completely validating, Russell. It's like, oh, that's exactly what I've been, this is exactly what we've been preaching on the show, that awareness and acceptance is what fucks people up because they think it's acquiescence, they think it's
Hmm.
agreement, they think it's about agreeing with what the fuck's happening. You look at what's happening in the world. No, but you can't. You're not going to make any difference with something that you cannot accept. Which is my whole, which is why when there's the big No Kings protests and that kind of thing, that I set up a meditation station for people just to chill the fuck out, just so that
Right,
they can stay grounded and centered. It doesn't mean you love what's happening. It doesn't mean you agree with what's happening, but you can't change what's happening if you don't accept that it's happening. If you
right.
just keep becoming a reactivist, and that's what most people are. They're not
Yeah.
activists, they're reactivists.
Yeah, my friend Heather Hildebrand said something so wise this morning. She said, um, "We are either we are either attuned to the frequency of the problem or the solution,
That's
and you
great.
can't be both at the same time.
That's
So,
right.
like, if you're attuned to the problem, then you miss all the solutions. If you're attuned to the solution, then the problems matter less."
Yeah, that's it. I love that. It's fabulous. And it's, what I hear in that is what we've been calling thinning the veil between, what meditation and what mindfulness provides for the entrepreneur, for the CEO, is like you said, those opportunities are all there at all times.
Yes. Did you
And
know that you see more when you are happy? Actually, like you see more in your peripheral vision when you are
yeah,
happy. So fear is really good for like getting us to take action, but it narrows our focus. So
good.
there's this great a woman named Ingrid Fetterly who has the School of Joy, and I just went to a talk for her at hers at Canvas conference, and she was like, the people that are happy see more opportunity. They have more opportunity, which means them more opportunity to make more money. But we are running on this cortisol that's
Mm.
filling us, and it's like narrowing our focus, so we're not able to see the opportunity presented to us. And that is actually what like capitalism wants. Like, it does not want us to see third order problems. Like, it wants us to see first order problems and be focused here, because if we expand our vision and see what's actually possible, we don't need to buy the next Jigglypoo 5700 or whatever the next thing is.
Hey, don't fuck with the Jigglypuos. Okay?
Sure.
Don't
I
take
like
my
my
Jiggly.
Jigglypoo
Okay,
57.
don't
It's
take my
great.
Jigglypoo away from me. Affects it.
I mean, that's a good segue because I want to explore a little
Yeah,
bit, sort of quantum capitalism. I
yeah, that's
saw that
exactly what I was going
on
to
your
say. Perfect.
website. I was like, walk some of those thoughts through for a second.
Yeah. Okay, so um we have historically lived in a world where we thought X follows Y. There was logic to
Mhm.
the universe. If I put in X effort, then I will have success. If I get this article, then if I get an article in the New York Times, then I'm going to be a big star. If I sell out my next course launch, I will then be happy. Whatever it is. X follows Y. I call this Newtonian capitalism because
Hmm.
gravity falls down.
Mhm.
And in the past 100 years, There's been a new development called quantum physics, which breaks most people's brains. So I'm not going to go all the way into all of those things. But I can say that um, at an atomic level, all of the things that we talked about, this is a solid state microphone. Like all of these issues
Hmm.
are happening in our atomic space. But the mind is not atomic. The mind is subatomic. It is happening all in ways that we cannot predict. We can see the electron maybe move, we can see the fascia move, but these things are happening on a quantum level. And in quantum physics, nothing makes sense. Instead of saying X equals Y, you say things like, well, the probability of this thing happening is better or worse. But for instance, light can be a wave or a particle, and you looking at it
Hmm.
changes it. There's this
Yeah.
great experiment, and also the things when you look at things in the future, it affects the past. So the easiest example of this, and none of this is super easy because like we want things to make sense and they just don't.
Yeah.
So, but there's an experiment where scientists put two sheets of paper that are meant to catch particles and let
Okay.
waves pass through. And they ran a test, they blind test. They did not look at anything, and they numbered all of the experiments. And then afterwards, they decided which ones they would look at. And then when they looked at those ones, only those ones were particles. It could not have, they did not even know what they were going to do afterwards. They did not even know how many versions of the experiment they were going to look at. But that changed the past. And so I fully believe that things we do now can change what happened in the past. And I believe that the biggest problem that we have as entrepreneurs is we believe we feel we have to believe that we can influence the outcome when really we don't know how any of our money is made.
Hmm.
Like no business that I've ever met knows how anyone buys their product. What they know is the final result of their product being bought, maybe that last click that got them to that place, but no business can tell me every decision that went in to any of their customers' thing except the final one. So because we can see the final decision, we're like, oh, I know where my biggest sales
Yeah.
channel is X or Y, or this is my best affiliate. We have no idea who's talking about us or what's happening in the off-platform thing to get people to
Yeah.
that point. But we feel like we have to. And when we're CEOs, when we're going from a 0 to 1 to a 1 to 10 company, the biggest problem, the biggest thing stopping our happiness is that we have to release our desire to influence the outcomes and realize that all we can do is influence the inputs and the probability field of getting the right outputs.
That's good, man. There's so much desire for certainty and a crave to control things. And so I can see why I would have some confirmation bias around seeing something happen and then attributing that to the reason that I got the sale, when in
Mm.
fact, it reminds me, Aaron, of what's the gratitude meditation you lead through where you're like, you start to see the infinite supply
Yeah,
chain of how we got there.
yeah, cascading gratitude. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like it
So
makes me think of that because you're like, you don't know. You don't know what
that's
things
right.
went into how you got this lead
yeah. So
or this
That's right.
sale.
so here's a great thing you can do. Find a sales channel and find 10 customers who came through that sales channel and um buying the same product. Interview five or all 10 of them and just ask them, tell me about what happened the day that you bought this product. And none of them will have the same answer. None of
Right.
them will even have the same like c- category of
Perfect.
answer probably.
Yeah, it's all probability. I mean, it really is. All we were just talking about this. Who was I talking to about this? I think I was being interviewed on another show. Um, this is the thing that blows people's minds when I teach them to meditate is that there's no right way to do it.
Mm,
People can't deal with there's no right way to do things. It's so because we demand the right way to do it because of certainty. We need the certainty. We'd rather even do it wrong.
hmm
Which is why people can't teach themselves to meditate because they keep deeming it wrong. There's a lot of stuff goes into that. The but a really useful thing to say is um, this is a practice that has worked in the past.
hmm Yeah.
Let's try that because it
hmm
has a probability that it could work for you now because best practices. It's not best practices are the right way to do it. It's best practices have indicated in the past that that it increases the likelihood of the result you want. If it doesn't produce the result, it doesn't produce the result. And if it does, and you master that, and you may have an opportunity to discover a new way to do it. But it's not that there's a right way to do things. And if you can let go of the need to judge the correctness of the
hmm
methodology and you could just be with there are no mistakes, there's just the next thing you did, there's the next
Right.
thing you tried, and then that'll open the door, like you said, for the opportunities that are there that you couldn't see had you not done it the way you did it.
Yeah.
So
And yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely.
what Russell? Russell? What's the because there is some both and here. There is a cause and effect that if I could put
hmm
myself in a position to whatever the answer is, whatever the practice is, I could open myself to more
Yeah. So
income,
the
success, whatever. Like, and what? How would you? What is that?
So the first thing that I do is I listen to people when they come onto a call with me. I ask them to talk about their day, their life, and what they enjoy doing. And then I take note of how many times they say any negative language. And it's usually it's exhausting. When it
It's
gets more than
exhausting.
5 or 10 in like a 10-minute conversation, it's exhausting. And then I say, that's interesting. Like, do you know how many times you negged yourself during that conversation? And they were like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, you said not and no. And our brains are really stupid. They are really dumb and they are they are influenced by every word that you say. Positive or negative, they will create that reality for you. And so the people that are stuck, one of two things are usually happening.
Mm.
They're saying no a lot. And like their no instances are very, 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 very high. Um, I don't have like a number on it. I should probably go back and calculate that, but like something like there are people, and you can do this in your own day, record yourself for 5 minutes just talking and then count how many I'd be surprised if it's less than 10. Because you would say things like, I can't do that, I won't do that, oh, this is a problem, this is the thing. And like while radical acceptance is not about saying I this is or isn't, it's about saying this, well, I guess it's saying this is. And
It's this.
saying what is
Hmm.
the evidence that I have to support that. Like, why do I think I can't do this? And a lot of times then it's like, oh, well, I can't make this water bottle because my friend Sally tried to open a hair salon. And you're like, those two things have nothing to do with each other. Like, what do you even? So then I spend, the other thing that I do is for people that are successful, that are stalled, I'll say, okay, they'll tell me like what they're doing. And I'll say, okay, what do you enjoy? Then they'll tell me a bunch of stuff they're doing. And I say, you enjoy those things? They're like, no. Okay, what do you enjoy? And they'll go through this loop a few times. I'm like, so is it fair to say you're not doing anything that you enjoy? They said yes. Okay, so your business is stalled. You hate yourself. You hate your business, and um, you your customers aren't responding, and you also aren't doing anything that you like. Like, do you think these two things could possibly be related in any way? And then I'll say, okay, let's take this the final thing before I shut up for a second is I say, what are the three things that you do that always work?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
they'll say one, two, three. And I'll say, when was the last time you did any of them? And they were like, oh, well, it's been a while. I'm like, well, yeah. You know how I know it's been a while? Because your business is stalled. if you're
Such a
doing
great question.
the things that you are good at doing, that you uniquely are good at doing, like you may not have the same success that you had doing it the last time, but like at least you'll have a baseline.
So good.
The same thing applies in relationships. I mean, if you want to get why the relationship stalled, the relationship's dead, just that. Are you
Right,
doing the same things you did when you were dating? No. Well, then
Right.
right,
fuck it. Just give it up. If you're not, why are we even talking?
right,
You and it's not that those were the right things to do. It's just those things worked and they worked at
right,
one time. So are they going to work in the future? Like the quantum wave, like the wave collapse? We don't know.
right,
We don't know it's going to work in the future. We know it worked in the past. We could
right,
try it and see. And if it doesn't, then it leaves you in a space that you
right,
wouldn't be left in if you just said, well, fuck it, it's not going to work.
right. Well, on top of that, when you don't have what like the thing that you have that no one else has is firsthand data. And
Mm.
so we have a thing in Hapitalist called the Happy Compass. It's the
Oh,
four blocks that you have in your business. And when you identify, you can't know how many of these blocks you have until you do the biggest one, like the most glaringly obvious one. And then you're like, okay, well, you fixed your prioritization block. Oh, you're still not moving forward. Well, like maybe you then have an audience block or some other block that you have. But when you go back to doing those things that worked, even if it doesn't work, you suddenly can say, oh, well, I did it the same way and like it's not working or like it doubled and you're like okay well like now I can help you because I know that you have a baseline from before and after. And if you don't have that, then we can't help you. Like I can't help you. It's the same way when someone goes when I tell someone a framework and they do something different, I'm like I don't know where you messed up because I know this way works. This is my favorite thing whenever I do coaching. I'm like, well, I told you to do it this way. Do you think that I think there's a better way? Why would I tell you when I think there's like this is the way? But even if this is not the way, I have to know that you followed the steps so I can know where it broke down. And so we find people that do things the same way, that do things different ways every time they do it. We find people who don't follow the directions. We find people that haven't done the thing a thing that works in a long time. They just keep following shiny
hey,
object
man, but I'm a
syndrome.
free
I don't know what you're
spirit,
talking about.
Russell. I'm a free spirit. You can't tie me down
Calling me
with the
out,
way
Russell.
things have been. Don't tie me down with following instructions, man.
Right. Well,
I'm
and yeah, to which I would reply, I'm not the one who booked this coaching call. Like,
Yes, that's
you know
great.
something like if your business was working, I would not be here. Because
Right.
like I no one wants to pay me an hour fee to like talk with them. Like we could go
right,
out to
right.
lunch, we could do all sorts of things for free, but like you don't want to give me money to like consult on your business. So the fact that you are here right now proves to me that you want to change. If you, and that is the only thing that I care about. I actually don't care what you do or how you do it as long as you are not harming yourself or other people. But you clearly are unhappy, and my evidence is you are here. I don't know. Like, I didn't book this call. You did.
Right. But it's really good. I mean, people are so funny like that. They it's I think it's like the mindfulness apps or something. Like when they want a solution. People want a solution, but they don't want to do the work. Everyone wants to get to
Mhm.
heaven and no one wants to die. That kind of a phenomenon. Like
Yeah.
you can point, but you could only point in a direction.
Right.
You can't. There's no answer, and even then, you can point in a direction, and then you've got to say, see what opens up when you get there. When you
Right.
move that direction, see what you see. But I can't tell you any
Right.
more than that. And this coach, this is really why I don't like coaching particularly. I don't do coaching calls. It doesn't make me happy because it feels like it's constantly um, going, like that kind of battle. Um,
Yeah. Oh, I
uh,
just won't have that battle. Like they'll be
yeah.
like when they try and have that battle, I'm like, I mean, do you want to just talk about like sandwiches for the next hour? Like I will, this is your time. Like we can thumb war, we can do whatever you want to do. But
Right.
like I'm not gonna fight you on this thing. This is the framework that I have. If you want me to coach you, I'm going to use the framework that I developed.
Yeah.
Go find another coach. I don't care.
It's so funny. Not just a couple of years ago, I got into this fight with my business partner's boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's people that are like, I don't have time, or, uh, um, I can't seem to get done what I said I was going to get done because things keep interrupting me. It's a really simple. Such a
Right.
simple one. It's like, hello, it's in your calendar, you do it. It's not in your calendar, you don't do it. It's really not that fucking complicated. If it's in your calendar,
Correct.
you do it, and if it's not in your calendar, you don't do it. Don't. Why are
Yeah.
we having any more conversation than that? And for people that don't get that, there's just always more conversation, which is
Right.
why they can't get anything done. And I was getting into this battle with him about it. I was like, I finally said to him, just what you said, Russell. Like, look, dude, you either want to get this resolved and you will do what I tell you to do, or you don't really
Right.
want to get it resolved. And that's okay too. You don't have to. It's not better to get it resolved.
Right.
People who get shit done aren't better than people who don't get shit done. People who
Yep.
are on time aren't better than people who are late. There's
Right.
just different, it, judgment free is not the same thing as consequence free. Those are
Right.
two different realities. There's
Absolutely.
consequences for everything.
Yeah.
So, but if you don't want this conversation, let's not have it. And
Yeah.
yeah, and then he stopped coaching with me for about 2 years until he got tired enough of the situation. He's like, okay, I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm happy to
So
talk to you about it.
one of the things that I have is the ability to not care about how much money I make because things will always work out. My wife said this thing once. She said, I was like, everything works out for you. And she said, everything works out for you too, because almost everything works out for almost everyone, almost all of the time.
That's right.
And my evidence is like you exist right here, right now. But I tell people one of two things is like you can either try and fix the problem and complain all you want to me, or you can not try and fix the problem and then I don't want to hear from you. And either way, I win. Because like either we're working on fixing this problem or like you don't exist. I like this problem doesn't exist to me. Like you can still talk to me about it, but I will start thinking about the ocean or something.
It's so funny. Uh, oh shit, the thought just left. Oh, I tell it. As a real estate agent, that's one of the things I do. I will tell people that all the time about when we're selling their house or buying a house. In when things got really, really heated in the market
Right.
a few years back, you'd write offers and you wouldn't get the house.
Hmm.
Um, I would, just this is a mindful approach to it. I would just make them stop. We'd have to stop, close your eyes, and understand this is just the chances are this is not going to be the first thing that doesn't work out for the best for you.
Right.
This is just not going to be the first thing that doesn't work out for the best. What are the odds that this, not getting that house, is the only thing in your life that didn't work out for the best? It's so unlikely. Just take a breath. You didn't get that
Right.
house. It wasn't your house.
Yeah, man. So there's this great parable, because I'm a big neutral thinking person. Obviously, for radical acceptance, there's this parable about this farmer and and
Maybe.
yeah, maybe exactly. And you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
kid comes back from
Go for it.
school.
Yeah.
This is great. Maybe people gets drafted. This is the worst. Maybe it's the worst thing.
Yeah. Falls off the
Falls
horse.
off the horse. Oh, this is the worst
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't like it's not like we create our reality.
Yeah. What's the Vonnegut quote? Hang on. Want to look up this Vonnegut quote that just so nails that for me. I love this quote. Yeah, here. Give me a second. The truth is, we know so little about life. We don't really know what the good news is and what the bad news is.
Yeah,
Uh, you know, uh, how is Kurt Vonnegut not everyone's favorite author? I don't understand how we don't just live by
I'm there, man.
his
I'm with
wisdom,
you.
but that's really it. How and if you let go of needing to know, is it good or is it bad? If you just let go of that, you have so much more fucking time. I mean, that's what you were saying about writing 5,000 words. It's like, I don't need to know anything. I don't need to know how this is going to turn out. That's not the point of art. That's not the point of business. That's not the point of it, is demanding that it turn out the way I need it to turn out. The word we
Well,
use for this show, Russell, is a cottywomple. You will love this
yeah,
word,
I
cottywomple.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Cattywampus.
Oh, do you know what?
Yeah,
Are you? Oh,
yeah.
see, this is, I knew. See, Chris, I told you. I was like, Chris, this is like our favorite guest already. Because when Chris came back from reading your website, he was like, oh, this looks like a good one. Because we have a lot of people on, and sometimes it's a perfect fit, and sometimes it's, hey,
Right.
they'll be interesting. Um, but that you know what a cottywomple is just, of course you do. It's just the best. Yes.
Yeah,
That's
and also just like your mind creates your reality, and I believe that. So like you can just tell your brain you like something. Did you know that? Did you know you could just tell your brain you like something and then you will? Like you can just before you go to if you are watching something you don't like, you just be like, actually, I do like this. My wife was like, I was a bad sleeper. Then I just told myself I was a good sleeper for a few nights, and now I'm a great sleeper. And just like your brain
Awesome.
wants to construct like it will do what the reason why manifestation works isn't because manifestation works, because even though it does, it's because you set an intention and then you look for that thing and you're like, oh, I want to like buy a house on the beach, and you suddenly start seeing all the opportunities of houses on the beach. And like if you're the kind of person who goes to the gym and you just tell yourself that you go to the gym, like you'll be more likely to go to the gym. So like you can just construct your reality and either you believe that or you don't even know it's possible, or you know it's possible but you avoid it.
mm,
Or the most vocal people are the ones who don't believe that, who know that that's possible and they fight it tooth and nail. And they're
yep.
like, you are wrong. And I'm like, I don't I don't like want to have this conversation. What makes you think I want to have this conversation with you? Like, I clearly don't agree that I because I said the words. Like I don't argue online because like I said the thing. If you don't agree with that thing, do you
That's
think I'm
okay.
going to disagree with my own previous statement on like I literally wrote a whole thing on it. That is how I don't know if you know this, but like that's actually how I feel.
And why would I criticize? You don't have to feel that way. I got it.
Right.
You don't feel that way. Good. So you go write something of your own on your fucking wall saying how
Right.
you feel. Don't come taking a shit on my place
Right. Or dude, I'm
because
gonna block you and delete you because
because
like I
what
just
I have that all the time with people. It's like, look, don't hijack my audience for you to tell people that you don't agree with me. I got it. You don't have to. It's fine. It's not a
yeah.
debate.
Right.
Everything's not a
Exactly.
fucking debate. We're not debating how I feel about things.
Right.
It's good.
I heard as you're saying, like I'm a good sleeper, or you start to say the things that tell yourself that things that you're good at are things that you like. I can hear the slit test in real world examples, like, the particles versus the waves whole experiment was what you give your attention to was going to determine what you see. And
Right.
that's exactly what you're saying. Like, oh, I'm a good sleeper. Yeah. Then that's what affects the outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's it's not again, it's not like being blind to the truth.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
accepting
No.
that you're not a good sleeper and saying, now I'm a good sleeper, and then looking for examples of how you are good. Because here's the thing, I'm not a good sleeper is a very negative thing to say. And like the truth is, my wife is a good sleeper, just not in every aspect of like the way that you sleep. And so you could say, I'm a bad sleeper, or like I have a problem like waking up or like I have a problem going back to sleep once I'm up, or like I get up 10 times at the night. And like there are, once you see those things, I don't even like the word problem, but like I am get I it takes me a long time to go back to sleep is like a radical acceptance way to say that. And then you can make decisions based on that thing. But like you are not a bad sleeper. Like you are not
Yeah.
bad at business. Like you are not like you
Yeah.
are I
Mm.
believe I read this book called The Courage to Be Disliked. And I love it because it's the first book that I ever heard that used this analogy, which is I believe you are a balloon. Now, a balloon knows how to fly. We are taught learning wise, like in learning that like we need to learn how to be a balloon. We need all of this information to be pushed into us before we can human properly. But I believe you already have a successful business. I believe you already have all of the tools that you need. And but what happens when a balloon is doesn't go into the sky? It's not a balloon. It's still a balloon. It just like may not be filled. It may not be filled with helium. It may be stuck on something. It may be the wrong shape to hit this object. It may not be a windy day. Like there's a billion reasons why it might not be in the sky. It may be held on by a kid, like whatever that thing is. And so like my goal is not to teach you how to be a balloon. It's to remove the blocks
Yeah.
that like prevent you from being in the sky, which is obviously where you should be. Like all balloons should be doing the thing that balloons do. And maybe it's that like maybe the answer is you have a block, or maybe it's like, yo, I don't know how to tell you this, but like you're actually a cheeseburger. Like you're not a balloon. Like you've just been trying to be a balloon this whole time, but like, and all of that is if you don't if you can't see that you're a cheeseburger, not a balloon, you're gonna think you're really bad at being a balloon instead of just a delicious cheeseburger. And like that's totally going to warp what you believe about yourself and the universe.
Yeah, it's somewhere there's a Ram Dass quote, and he's probably quoting someone else when he says it, but he says, "Here, let me help you. Let me save you from drowning," the monkey said to the fish as he
Right.
pulled him up in the tree.
Right. Yeah.
It's
Mm,
like
mm.
not the same thing. And even saying I'm not a good sleeper
Ah,
isn't really actually, it's still not true. It's still a
Right.
judgment. I sleep the way I sleep. This
Right.
is how I slept this many hours. I
Right.
sleep the way I sleep. I got this thing about being bad with money. I had, I've said I'm bad with money for as long as, like, since I was six. I know that, or whatever, eight, whatever. I've got the incident where that happened.
Right.
And a few years ago, maybe I say a few years ago, but of course now at 63, everything
was
pre-pandemic
yesterday.
is like a fucking lifetime ago. I got, wait a minute, I'm not bad with money. I always have money. I have never been homeless. I have never, I always have what I need. My fridge has never been bare. I'm not bad with money. I just am, and I'm super fucking good at spending it. I'm really fucking good at spending money.
Right.
I'm excellent at it. I could spend
Right.
money like I could spend so much money. And then I'm really good at earning it too,
Right.
where there is a weakness is in saving it. But I
Right.
make it just fine and I spend it just fine. So I'm not bad with money, but I could actually take on, ooh, what if I was, you know, what if I had saving like that world? And that changed everything for me because
Right.
it opened up this whole new possibility. I was no longer beating myself with the stick of my own judgments, pretending it was true.
Right. And there's the other thing where it's like, well, okay, you're good at spending money, you're good at making money, and money is an unlimited commodity that you can get whenever that you can make on command. So like, is there even a problem that you
Yeah.
have? Or like I like buying lots of dumb stuff. And like I like going out to eat whenever I feel like it. And like I always but at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, well, like, I don't know how money's going to come, but like, it always seems to come when I do things. And
Mm.
like, until that relationship changes, I don't know. And that's really what it all comes down to. When people come to me, a lot of the time, I'm like, okay, is that how you want to live?
Yeah.
And if you say, actually, kind of. I'd be like, okay, well, I don't understand the problem then. And they're like, well, other people tell me there's a problem. And I'm like, okay, well, if you don't want to if you don't want to change your life, you won't. Just like won't change your life. Even if you like get guilted into like giving up alcohol or like going to the gym, whatever that other thing, like you're probably going to resent it. So like if you want to change it, like let's say you want a better relationship with your li
Mm.
with your loved one, you can just be like, okay, I have a good relationship with my, and then you'll start to see. those things. And then you will speak your reality into existence. And you every word, I cannot overstress, every word out of your mouth shapes your reality, including things you say to other people about other people. Like you're like the easiest way to get
Right.
someone to like you. We think it's to do a favor for them, but it's not. It's to have them do a favor for you.
100%.
Because if someone does a favor for you, suddenly they're like, well, I don't do a favor for people I don't like. And I just did a favor for you. So like I must like you on some level. And it's the old Ben Franklin, like he used to do this all the time. So like if you really want to live a capitalist mindset, you can come to hapitalist.com and like we'll hang out some. Like I have all sorts of plans and courses and books and stuff. But really, like you just have to stop speaking negativity into the universe. And if you stop speaking negativity into the universe, I'm not saying I'm the best sleeper. I'm not saying like, but like even bad people who do bad things. So almost everyone who ever meets a serial killer lives.
Right.
A serial killer kills a very, very, very small percentage of the people that they ever meet. And so, like,
That's a good thought.
what, like, what is the reality that you want in the world? And it's probably true. If that serial killer was like, I don't kill that many people, he probably would kill less people. This is a bad example.
It's a bad example.
This is getting like going down a
It's
road that I
very
don't want to
kind, right? But that's a
follow,
good thing
but
about a Waffle is that you go, okay, well, there was really actually, that's not, let's reel that one back in. But I
yeah,
do
let's
like
reel that
that.
one back
Yeah.
in.
But somewhere, Russell, that is going to be a metaphor that works, just not in
Well,
this
I like the
conversation.
first time. I should have just left it in the first
Yes,
sentence,
yes, yes, yes.
not continued with it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, no.
That's right.
Well, it's good. What I hear, if I had to sort of begin to tie up the thought, the biggest thing sticking with me, and there are so many good things in this conversation, but I can hear all the way back to the beginning of the conversation, this Newtonian way of thinking, like X equals Y, versus a quantum way of thinking. Like it's just because success looks a certain way to you because you're looking out there and you're thinking, oh, X success looks like Y, or better sleep looks like, we make up all these stories about how we think it should be and then judge our realities or current occurrings as if those are good or bad. Whereas a quantum perspective about that is, we'll see. Maybe like you're just radical acceptance and then putting out into the universe the things that you want to affirm. I'm good at sleeping. I'm good with money. I'm good at
Right.
business.
Well, so the easeful joy loop is attunement,
Mhm.
opportunity. So you attune to the opportunity you want, then you find it, then you take it through what we call the path of least friction, which is your highest return on energy activities, which is energy comes in all forms. So we have a formula for how to calculate the different forms of energy and make a conversion between like money and time and attention and effort. And all of these things are energy. And energy rarely comes back in the form you spend it in. So, like your goal is to find the activities that are the highest return on energy, and then you filter all of that. So you filter the opportunity through that engine, through the path. Then we have what's called a good chaos engine, which magnetizes the opportunities to you. And then there's an integrated sales ecosystem that like makes money from it. And then that should all create a positive feedback loop that you bring back around to attune better next time. And that is
Mm.
why it's a loop. That's why it's a flywheel. You do all of these things and you get very good at saying, oh, I magnetized a really bad opportunity to me. And if you can't
Awesome.
say, oh, that was a bad opportunity, then you're going to continue dragging along that client and bring in more clients like it. Like if you want good clients, you need to have good clients. You just have only good clients. If you have
Yep.
bad clients, you're going to get more bad clients because those clients are going to refer you. You need to have the best clients, and then those clients will give you the input that you need. So like each of those has to have a bunch of methodologies underneath it, but like yeah, like I think that if I was that you magnetize the opportunities to you, And if you were a repellent magnet instead of an
Mm.
attracting magnet, you will push the good opportunities away. And you know what the other half of a repellent magnet is? It's attracting the wrong ones. If you repel the right opportunities, you're going to magnetize the bad ones. And if you magnetize good ones, you're going to repel bad ones. And it's just going to start being a self-sustaining loop. But you have to attune first.
It's
I think
great.
that's a great place to.
It's a great place to end it there. So, really, Russell, just brilliant. So many connections, alignment with what we've been talking about for so long on the show. Really appreciate your take on all of that. Super fun. Where
Thanks for
can people
having
get
me.
a hold of you? Where do people find you?
Hapitalist.com. It's like capitalist, but with an H. I got a podcast. I got quizzes. I got books.
Got a
There's
Substack.
I had a well, no more. Now I have a
Oh, is
ghost.
that right?
I ghosted Substack for Ghost because
Ghosted.
I wanted
Awesome.
to, yeah, it's so I can make a more integrated platform. But like we have a Russell bot that you can talk to. It's
Oh,
a whole
nice.
thing, but all at hapitalist.com. It's spelled just like capitalist, but with an H.
Great.
So good. Love it. Thanks for being on the show, Russell. Thanks, Aaron, as always. Everybody listening, thanks. Leave us a review. Share it with somebody that you think would enjoy this conversation, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.